Um, well, I'm from Vancouver, so at the time I had a lot of, sort of interconnections with the club. Just having played for the national team and all the youth levels at that time, and being involved with the under 20 national team. So I had just come back from going on trial with a bunch of clubs in the UK. And nothing really stuck, wasn't really offered a contract. So at 19 years old, I just started training with the residency team. That was kind of my last go at it at the time. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to play professional that time, and trained with the first team for about a week. And then they offered me a contract, and the rest was history. I was on like the absolute league minimum salary, barely making my way to live. But that was a different time back then. They were playing in the USL, so that would have been the division below the MLS at the time. So it was a good opportunity for me, and I took it with both hands. I guess that was my first season, just finished at the time with the Vancouver Whitecaps, and personally it went really well for me. I think being able to play something like 40 games and scoring 12 goals in my first ever professional season was something that I didn't really see coming. I kind of overachieved even for myself at the time, and scored some really good goals and important goals, and it went well for a 20-year-old. So I guess off the back of that season, I had some interest from a few agents and stuff, because the season finished, I think, in November time or so, or late October. And so it was kind of coming into the January transfer window in England. So an agent approached me with base soccer, and he sort of said, look, I think your game translates well to England. West Brom want to take you on trial for about a week or so. And I was on a plane, I think, the next week, trained with them for, I think, 4 or 5 sessions. That was it, really. And then I remember they pulled me aside and just said, look, we want to offer you a deal. And I was kind of just like, wow, like I wasn't expecting to sign or anything. I just thought I was going to go over there, train, and probably come back to Vancouver for next season. But they offered me a 1.5-year long contract, and I was more than happy to move on my way. Playing in England, what's it like? Well, if I had to describe playing in the UK in one word, I'd probably say intense. Just in every sense of the word. I think your general lifestyle and everything that you do playing in the UK is kind of affected by football. It's everywhere. I think there's a lot of history in just about every club there. So that was the biggest thing for me. When you get there, you're just kind of intoxicated by the way that supporters are invested in every club, just the lifestyle that comes with being a footballer, and just the overall scrutiny potentially you can be under as a footballer from fans, from your own manager, just from the general public. I think, playing in the UK, it makes you very thick-skinned, and the intensity of the overall match experience as well is it's pretty crazy. So there's not much I've experienced that can compare to that in terms of like every single week going out there and competing, and the intensity and the physicality of playing in England, especially the speed of play, and it's a lot different than anywhere in the world. I guess the major difference that you notice just from playing in both Canada and the UK is the history, and just the overall investment from the fans and the supporters. That can be good and bad in a way. I don't think I've ever experienced more negative feedback or negative hate along with the positive playing in the UK. I think fans and football supporters in general over there are just extremely hot and cold. 1 minute they're praising you, saying you're the next best thing, and then 1 or 2 bad games or bad results, they're saying you're the worst footballer they've ever come across. So it's an interesting dynamic in the UK. I think football is less of an entertainment and less of a sport than it is like a lifestyle, and there's general emotional investment into every single club. And you know, it's interesting because with Canada you have lots of people that love football and support it, but when they go to a football match, they're there to be, you know, entertained and there to have a good time. And I don't think the general result will naturally affect the average person on a personal level. Whereas in the UK, you know, I think people literally, a lot of people will, you know, let the result of a football match affect their whole mood for the rest of the week. And it's more than football over there. And I think that can get a bit scary sometimes when you lose sight of, you know, your overall life and, you know, dedicate too much to a game at the end of the day that's supposed to be made beautiful and supposed to be played competitively and in the spirit of good sport. And I think sometimes in the UK that can get lost a little bit. Probably scoring against Celtic at Celtic Park. That one kind of stands out just because the size of Celtic as a club, and you know, I think they had 60,000 fans that day, and it was you know, a cool moment because, you know, I've never scored in front of that type of a crowd, and to hear that many fans just go completely silent for a minute or two was pretty cool. All you could really hear was like the few hundred away supporters, you know, going nuts. But yeah, that was a cool experience, and you know, to score against a big club like that is always nice. Yeah, I mean, being able to get 27 caps for your country is something that I'm always going to be very proud of, and yeah, it means a lot to me because within football, I don't think there's any greater honor than being able to represent your home country, and it's given me the opportunity to play against some pretty competitive teams, some good countries, playing a couple Gold Cups, World Cup qualifying, and just seeing a lot of the world that I probably wouldn't have seen before. So, you know, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and yeah, it's something that I'll always hold close to my heart for sure. Yeah, that's probably a pretty easy one. The last World Cup qualifying campaign that I was involved in, we had the majority of our home games in Vancouver, which is where I'm from, my hometown. So that was a cool experience because I got to play in front of my friends and family. I think I had like 15, 20 tickets or something to give to everyone that I knew and wanted to be at the game. So that was a pretty special experience. So I remember we beat Honduras at home, and that was a really important game at the time. And, you know, I was able to come on, I think, for the last 15, 20 minutes. So to be a part of that in front of, like, I don't know, it was probably 30 or 40,000 fans was, you know, pretty exciting at the time. And, yeah, we had a good celebration after the night out. It was a good time. I remember that. Yeah, I mean, coming home was a big deal for me. It was a way to sort of freshen things up for me, and I was really looking forward to a new start, somewhere different. At the time, I think I just kind of been a bit stagnant living in Scotland, and just I wanted to shake things up, and the chance to come home and play in front of my, you know, family and friends in the country that I grew up in was something that was, you know, kind of a no-brainer at the time, and I was excited to be part of history and be part of, you know, a new team and a new league in general, and just be one of the faces of the team. So, you know, I was very excited in the beginning to come to Pacific, and you know, it wasn't all bad there. You know, it just didn't work out, and you know, the season, you know, it went okay at times, but then, you know, I struggled with injuries, and I needed to move on, and you know, I was glad to be able to leave from Pacific finally after things dragged out. But you know, coming to Calgary was like a completely different setup. You know, just something that was a lot more up my street in terms of like the professionals and the coaching staff and just the overall dynamic of the team. You know, it was kind of, you know, there were a lot more personalities that were like-minded like me, and it was a great experience, to be honest, at Calvary. You know, the boys were top drawer, and, you know, I've made a lot of friends, you know, playing with those boys, and you know, I wish them all the best. what to look for in the future. Well, right now I'm in Asia, so I'm in Cambodia, Phnom Penh, which is the capital of Cambodia. So I'll be playing my football over here this year. I signed a deal with one of the big clubs here in Cambodia. So yeah, I'm excited. It's a new experience for me, and I'm just really looking forward to the opportunity to, continue my career in a different market where I think I have a really good chance of doing really well. And it's a beautiful, beautiful country from what I can see so far, and a lot of culture and a lot of sunshine and heat. So yeah, I'm really excited for the new opportunity to play over here, and I think we're going to do well this year. So I'll be enjoying the sunshine.
For more content like this, like, share and subscribe.